Hello again. So this is an equipment video. It's just going to cover some of my favorite equipment and some of the equipment that I would avoid, I guess. I don't know what I'm going to go into with this. So let's just start out with some of the things that I like. So actually, you know what? Here, let me go over. So that we have scanners, uplinks, injectors, nano hives, repair tools, and remote explosives. So the first one, let's just start at the top, is the active scanner. Now there's a few different variants. We have things like just the flux and quantum and stable. And there's a bunch of different prototype ones, but I don't actually have them unlocked right now. I might go over them here after I'm done with this, maybe if I go into the market. But let's just go with basic active scanner. I wouldn't ever use these just for the fact that they only have 5 seconds of visibility and they're just not that great. If you're gonna use any scanner, spend the extra ISK and go for the flux. 8 seconds of visibility, 150 meters range. The only downside is that it does have a shorter scan duration and a smaller scan angle, but if you can spin fast enough, you should be able to do just fine with it. The best scanner, though, out of the advanced ones is the quantum, and this one gives you 16 seconds of target visibility, which is amazing, and it's just as good as the basic scanner. Only it has 36 decibels, so it can read, or it can pick up a lot of different players. The other one is that any stable variant. So this is if you check it out, it's 8 less CPU and 3 less PG. So if you're tight on fitting, then you can use this as the go-to scanner. But again, only 5 seconds of target visibility. So there isn't like a stable quantum or something like that. It's just stable. And again, if you're really running low on fitting and you need a scanner or whatever, or an uplink is the other one, the stable, then run those. But now let's go into uplinks. Drop uplink. If you look at this is 38 CPU and 9 PG. Now look at the militia. 50 CPU and 15 PG. That is a huge difference. All you need is level 1 drop uplink operation, whatever it's called, in order to use this, and it will make your fitting life so much easier. Be able to fit uplinks on every suit instead of just one suit and not be able to fit like an armor plate or something. So again, if you can, go into that. The next one is the stable. This is by far the best one out of all the uplinks. Not in terms of usability, but in terms of fitability, if that's even a word. So where is the requirements for this? It requires drop uplink deployment level 2. So you need level 2 uplink deployment. If you can get that and use the stable, that's pretty much as far as you need to go into uplinks. The rest of them are just better for, say, if you want to get people back on the battlefield faster, but all of these cost a lot of CPU and PG. We're talking almost as much as the militia now. So if I was going to recommend one other one, it's the other stable variant, the Allotech. It's the prototype version. It costs as much as an advanced uplink. I think it's like, yeah, minus 50% spawn. You can carry 3 of them, drop 2. It's pretty nice. So if you want to upgrade your stable uplink, go for the Allotech stable. It's pretty much just an all-around best one in terms of prototype, except for the quantum, I think. No, not quantum. Wait, gauged. Yeah, gauged. Max active 3. So this is the only one that you can drop 3 uplinks at a time with. But again, it costs a lot. 71 CPU, 14 PG. That's a lot. Unless you're like me and you have all your PG CPU skills maxed out. So, let's see here. Injectors. Nano injector. Use this one. Got it? Okay, good. So, let's see here. Just an explanation on that. These ones, they cost more CPU PG, and you really just want to go with the cheapest one. And I don't say that to, like, against Logi Bros, because I I am a logistics, trust me on this one, but it's just the 50% and 80%. It's good for if you're running in a dedicated squad. If you know that you're running with another heavy, run the better ones. Okay, that's the only way that it makes sense. But if you're just running with a bunch of blueberries, don't worry about it. Especially if you're carrying a repair tool, you'll get more reward points carrying the repair tool by doing that. And it just trust me on this. Okay. I'll explain it later in my injector videos, but I'm not going to go over it here. So, nano hives. Oh man, these are most versatile equipment in the game. I mean, it can be anything from the compact one, which is a super burst of health. I mean, 50 HP per second for something that costs 10 CPU and 2 PG, but it only has 25 clusters, which means that it'll run out really fast, and it's only like, what, 2 meters? It's this tiny little thing. So, that's a great if you only have a little bit of space left and you want to run something that'll heal your armor. The other one that I've used a lot is the K2. If you have the extra CPU, go for the X3. 21% versus 15%, which in reality doesn't seem like a lot, but in the game it's a lot. so those are the two advanced ones that I would use. The other one, this one costs level 4 nanocircuitry, so it's a bit of a skill investment, but this is probably the one that I use the most because it heals your armor. I mean, it's as good as that, but you have to remember that it has to heal your armor first before it actually gives you ammo. So by the time that it actually starts giving you ammo, it only gives it you at 7.5%, which is not very much at all, especially when you're so used to using like the X3 or a K2. But once you have skilled all the way to level 5, go for the Allotech Nano Hive. It is beast. I mean, 15%, so just as much as a K2, plus 40 HP per second. That's as much as, say, like some guy with a standard repair tool sitting there healing you. You can carry 3 of them, so you can drop 2 at a time and get up to 80 HP per second. The other thing is that it does cost a lot of CPU PG, but if you have your skills at level 5, it's only about like 60 something CPU, because nanocircuitry gives a 5% reduction to CPU, and that's in another video, but it's an invisible bonus. Trust me, it's there. Because if I equip this right now, I mean, see how it says 88 over there, and that one says 92? Or it says 92 CPU used if I put it on. That's because there is a reduction. Like, for instance, that gun right there doesn't cost 4 CPU. I can assure you that. Repair tools. See here. Okay, so there was a recent buff in 1.6, and we have a lot better repair tools now. The main one that I use is BDR8. Very effective. What's the increase? It increased to 75 HP per second. That was only you couldn't get that unless you used the core before, but now it's awesome. So this one, great repair tool. Basic repair tool is the BDR2, at least the advanced version of it. 60 HP per second. If you can't run anything, just run the basic one. It's very cheap, fitting cost. Don't run the militia version. It costs 3 more PG, and you won't know where that PG is coming from and why you can't fit it. So, let's see here. Oh, and then the last thing is that prototype repair tools aren't that great, and I'll go into that in my repair tool video, but except for the core focused. 175. 175. That's like, you could make a heavy invincible with that practically. The only downside is that the repair distance is 10.5. As you use the better ones, so like repair tool here, 15 meters, BR8, 18 meters, 6-kin, 21 meters. So it gets longer. You can heal people from farther away. The 6-kin is the other triage one, and and all the prototype ones can cling on to 2 people at once, so you can heal 2 people at once, except for the core focus, only 1. But this is definitely the best one, and I'll go over that in the repair tool video, why prototype ones aren't that great, because just general statement, you only heal 1% at a time, 99% of the time. So that's the only reason why. Remote explosives, I don't use them. I bet someone else could probably tell you a lot more about them, but if you are making like a hacking suit, remote explosives are awesome. They're also good for speed fits, or if you want to just trick someone into walking around a corner and all of a sudden, boom, they're done. So again, these ones are actually pretty cheap for fitting onto your suit. Basic repair, or remote explosive. I haven't actually gone into the other variants, but that's pretty much it. Those are my favorite equipment, what to do, what not to do. I'll make more videos about the specific types of equipment later on. I guess you'll have to wait for those because that might take a little while. But this is just what I think is best. If I was going to go with one equipment that's my absolute favorite to use, it's a very tough decision between the A45 Quantum Active Scanner. I almost have one of those on every single one of my suits, or the Core Focus. You just can't top that. That's ridiculous for what it is. Well, actually, and then there's the Allotech Nano, but that's more like a second place winner, because as much as it's useful, it does cost a lot of CPU PG, and it's really only for players that have spent a lot of skill points into the game and have enough room on their suits. So anyways, I guess that's it for this video. Stay tuned for the next ones, and I hope to see you again soon.